I was living with the father of my children. We were living together for about 7 years. We have 2 kids together, and then one day I was at work and I found a lump in my neck and decided that I should go to the doctor and find out what it was. And we went for some tests, and that is how I found out that I had AIDS.
When I was 18 years old, I thought I was pregnant, so I went to a clinic to get a pregnancy test done. I ended up being tested for everything, including HIV, and 2 weeks later I found out that I was HIV positive.
I was diagnosed when I migrated to Canada in 2002, where I had to go through a medical examination. That's where I found out that I was HIV positive.
The AIDS Committee of York Region has been providing support and care to people living with HIV and those impacted by HIV really since 1993, and it was community driven. People living with HIV informed the decisions at that time and continue to do so now.
HIV does not only have an impact on the individual living with HIV, but also their friends, their families, their loved ones. There may be someone who has taken on the role as a caregiver to support them, take care of them, a mother taking care of her grown child, a woman taking care of her spouse. So it has a huge impact on the entire family.
At that time, I was around 12, 13 years old. I'm a girl. In the African culture, and maybe in other places, I do not know, you're expected to be the one to do everything. So my mother being unable to help us wash clothes, cook food, look after my brothers, wake my brothers up to go to school and everything, I had to leave the boarding school I was in and came back home to look after my mother. So through it all, while my mother is sick, even if she wanted to go to the toilet and help herself, I had to bring the commodes for her to help herself in it and walk around if she wanted to come out of the house and sit outside and enjoy the evening sun. And I had to bring her out. Sometimes we would sit and have conversations with her, and then she would tell me the one word that I know, my mother. One word I know my mother ever told me, even if my mother left me nothing at all, my mother told me one word. She said, make sure you go to school, make sure you study, make sure you look after your brothers. And I have lived with that.
There are over 1 million people who call York Region home, and they come from all parts of the world. And certainly the people we support here reflect the diversity of our region. And this presents a number of challenges to us. We may be dealing with issues relating to immigration or settlement, mental health related issues, or homelessness.
When I came to York Region, I did not know who to turn to, where to get support. And it was really hard for me because I did not have my work permit, I didn't have any status. I had to somehow to make money to pay my rent, to put the food on the table. I was not on any social assistance or Ontario Disability, so I had to do house cleaning from house to house, and it was a big struggle for me, and it was and I had to leave my kids by themselves, not knowing what are the consequences I could have faced, and there was a lot of challenges for me.
Over the past 12 years, I've had the opportunity to work with and support many women living with HIV. And some of the stories that I've heard are challenges that they've experienced while attempting to access care and treatment for their HIV, specifically with regards to the medical community and their lack of sensitivity towards them and their needs.
There was this one time when I went to this doctor. She was actually very unkind to me. She made it sound like I put myself there. I wasn't careful enough, and it was a very bad experience. I wouldn't wish that experience on anyone. She said to me, "Stop crying. What's the point? There's no point on you crying now. It's done. You're going to have to deal with this. You know, you have kids to take care of. Suck it up. Those were her exact words. Suck it up.
The first time I heard about HIV and AIDS was when my son was diagnosed. Such an innocent child. And when I was called in to say that he was HIV, it was like they had this big projectors with cancerous ulcer in the mouth and stuff like that. And it was heartbreaking that thinking that your child is going to die in a couple of months and no parents want to bury their children before them.
One of the perceptions about York Region is that HIV and AIDS does not exist in this region. However, that's really not true. This disease is real and it's here. And there are people that are living and affected with the disease.
When I came onto the board of the AIDS Committee in 1995, at that point we had an answering machine that was housed in the public health office with the public health nurse picking up messages. So still there wasn't very much support and people were very sick and there's a lot of stigma about HIV in the community. Volunteers were doing speaks and there was support groups run by volunteers, but there was no place that you could go and get some really good help. It took quite a few years to do that. I have another memory of a young couple and she was pregnant and he got tested just in case. And he found out by phone on a Friday afternoon that he was HIV positive. And his wife was pregnant and she had nowhere to get tested and they had nowhere to get some help. They called the answering machine and got a voice message. They went to the office and it was closed and they were totally unsupported when they really needed some help as well.
It has been really frustrating to hear stories of people with HIV speaking about injustices that are really unnecessary. But with education raising and awareness and engagement, we're making real strides to bring about positive change that has a real impact on the quality of life of those living with HIV here.
Well, it probably surprises people to realize that people that live with HIV come from all walks of life and live in our neighborhoods and have the same kinds of, enjoy the same kinds of aspects of the community that all of us do. York Region has certainly had its share and has significant numbers of people who are living with HIV. I've had the privilege of being involved in the care of families who are affected by HIV and have had great experience working with the AIDS Committee of York Region in terms of addressing the social and health needs for people living with HIV.
There was this one time when I went to go see this doctor that she was actually super nice to me. I did not look at her looking down at me like I had this disease or anything. She was like, kind of like family the way she was talking to me. She was so very kind and supportive, always asking me if I was okay with discussing certain things and opening up doors for me, telling me where to go for certain help and what I should be doing for that extra support. She was actually very good. And she's still my doctor until this day, and I won't change it unless she moves away.
It's been 8 years since I've found out I was HIV positive. Right now, I'm 4.5 months pregnant, and I'm extremely happy. My team that's supporting my pregnancy is pretty good. My doctor is very supportive. He's a great guy. My specialist, my infectious disease specialist, she's also very supportive. And I also have my gynecologist and my obstetricians that are also helping with my pregnancy.
It's a shocking experience for a woman to discover not only that she's pregnant, which she may not have known about, but then to find out that she's HIV positive. And it's a huge privilege to be able to sort of walk through that moment with a woman and with her partner, and to try to realize what the impact is of that, and to be able to turn what is often a very, very difficult and challenging situation into the most positive situation that we can, and as I say, to be able to get to see a beautiful outcome in terms of a healthy pregnancy and a healthy child.
I've often been saddened by the thought that some HIV positive people always seem to think that they're alone, because sometimes they do feel alone.
When I was really, really very sick, when AIDS Committee of York Region, one of the case managers, really took interest and care. The care and comfort of a person really made me well again, because I was hospitalized for 2 weeks. The thing is, it was an off day, and what really strengthened me was this specific person. His wife was expecting a first child, and he was supposed to be beside his wife delivering the first child, but instead of that, he was with me till midnight, taking care of me.
We have worked with numerous individuals in relation to making sure that they can maintain their careers and that they can upgrade their skills.
As a girl living here in Canada, I do not have any family. I have nobody there. But knowing that I have the AIDS Committee of York Region is a total, boost to my confidence. And knowing that I have Rada from the AIDS Committee of York Region, who has really been there as a mother to me. And besides that, just 2 days ago, I got my G2. And the first person that I called was Rada, and I'm telling her about my G2. So excited, and she was there to support me and say, yay, good for you.
An HIV diagnosis can really mean a huge loss, especially in the lives of women, because as we all know, women kind of hold the whole family together. And this loss can be emotional, physical, and even financial.
I'm a single mom of 3 children. I get up in the morning every day just to see them smile. And I get them up ready for school and take care of the house duties. And I'm always at the door every day when they get home from school to greet them with a big smile on my face, because they love me so much.
For me, coming to ACYR is very important. I come here once a month for the monthly support meetings. I get to meet all the people I've met within the last 3 years of living in York Region. And we get to, share with each other, get to learn from each other, and we get to be family. With your status, it's not a lot of people that are accepting. So when I come to ACYR, it's just a place to be comfortable where everyone is accepted and everybody understands what you're going through at that time. And so therefore, coming here every month makes me happy. It's something to look forward to.
I found out about the ACYR about, I'd say, 6-7 years ago. They have a lot of ways of supporting us. There's all kinds of things to help us. If we need them, they're there. They're a phone call away.
I love being a family doctor because, you see people in the context of family, and it's no different with HIV. I see women of all ages and all walks of life who live with HIV, and they live full and vibrant lives. Once they're able to get the resources that they need to care for the illness, they move beyond that, and then they say, hey, let's enjoy a full life.
Our communities are evolving, and I see that with the engagement of people at our events, the requests for HIV workshops, the demand for our resources. And what this means for someone living with HIV is that there are more connections, there's less fear, less isolation, and a better quality of life.
Right now, I look towards the future now with a more positive attitude, because of the fact that I do have the support from so many people, and I know that I'm not going through this alone anymore. I'm very strong now. I can pretty much hold whatever comes my way. If something gets thrown at me, I deal with it, and I don't go and hide like I used to. I deal with it as best as possible. The future does look bright in a way, only because the fact that I do have loving children who are taking care of me when I can't. I am not depressed anymore, so the future is very... I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know that it's gonna hold something good if I wake up to something good.
He's